Okay, so we're going to take a look now at how to symbolically solve an algebraic equation. And symbolically means that we're going to use letters and numbers to solve. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how using our algebra tiles relates to symbolically solving. So we've got x plus 2 equals 5. So I'm going to put my 5 down the side like this, and x plus 2 equals 5. So what you were doing when you were using the algebra tiles was you were putting in 0 pairs so that we could isolate the variable. So you would want to get rid of these two, so you put in 2 negatives. So we're going to say the yellow is negative today, and we'll put in 2 yellow on the right side. So what we've actually done symbolically is we have put -2 on both sides. And you learned that this is a 0 pair, which also means this is a 0 pair. So we can physically get rid of them because they're worth nothing. And that means that symbolically we're doing the same thing. +2 and -2 is equal to 0. So all we're left with on the left side is x. And that's equal to 5, and we subtracted 2, which gives us 3. So we've got the answer of x equals 3, which is exactly what our algebra tiles also give us. So you can see how instead of having to draw our algebra tiles, we can do it just using letters and numbers to solve symbolically. Now let's do another one. 2m equals -6. So we're going to need 2 variables, and it equals 6 negatives. When we did our algebra tiles, the little trick that I showed you to do was to group them, our units, so that they matched up with our variable. So you're going to want to take those 6 and arrange them into 2 groups. So mathematically what we're doing is we are actually taking our algebra tiles and dividing them into 2 groups. That's what we're doing. And what we used to do is circle our 2 groups because we're taking everything and dividing it by 2. Our answer is what one group is equal to. So our answer is m equals 3. And if you notice, 2 divided by 2 is just 1. So we just have 1m on the left side. -6 divided by 2 is -3. And that's exactly what our algebra tiles are showing us. We're going to do a 2-step problem now because this one is going to be an extra step. And we're going to do 2y minus 1 equals 3. Y is going to be our variable tile. We're going to have a -1, and that's going to be equal to 3 positives. So now we've got 2 steps to work out. We want to isolate the variable on the left side. So we're going to get rid of the negative tile by adding a 0 pair. So we're going to put a red one here. That is, equal to 0. It's a 0 pair. Now I added a red one over here, which means I have to add a red one on the right side to keep it equal. So mathematically, what are we doing? We are adding +1 to both sides. This is a 0 pair, so we can get rid of it. They cancel, and all we're left with on the left side is 2y. On the right side, we have 4, and of course 3 plus 1 is 4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to circle our 2 groups here. And mathematically what we're doing is we're dividing both sides into 2 groups. We're dividing both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 gives us 1y, and 4 divided by 2 gives us 2. And you can see our algebra tiles show us the exact same answer. So symbolically, algebraically, or using letters and numbers, we can solve an algebraic equation step by step by doing exactly what we did with our algebra tiles. We find a 0 pair, and what we do to the left, we do to the right. We divide by the coefficient of the variable on the left and on the right until we have finally isolated the variable and we have our answer.